time of Matan Torah is specifically for us to work on this. Why? We have 50 days between Pesach to Shavuot. But we got the Torah on the 51st day. The Maharsha says the reason why we got the Torah on the 51st day is because we needed to work on our middot, on our bad character traits that cause us to forget God, on our bad character traits that allow us to have the audacity to have an ego at all, on the bad character traits that make us think that it's our money, therefore we don't want to share it. When someone says, you should donate, no, it's I worked hard for my money. Or if you donate, it's only if you're going to put my name on the website. You put my name on the building. You put my name on the chandelier. You ever go to these synagogues? They have chandeliers, little chandeliers, cost $500, $1,000, whatever they cost, and the plaque under it probably cost $100. Why? Listen, the guy who donated the chandelier, he wants to make sure that for generation after generation, everyone knows that he's the one that donated the chandelier. It's the most absurd thing in the history of mankind. Shavuot is specifically to remove these things. Why? 50 days to fix yourself. 50 days to take out as much of it as you possibly can. Why? With an ego, you cannot receive Torah on the 51st. If you have an ego, you cannot receive the Torah on 51st. It's like any other day for you. If you haven't worked on yourself, you haven't prepared yourself, maybe you can have a cheesecake. Torah you can't get though. Cheesecake you can have. Anybody, the dog can have cheesecake also. But Torah you're not going to get. That's why people that ask me all the time, how is it that some of these really smart people that learn Torah and so on, they remember. They learn Torah and they remember it. And I learn and I don't remember it. How come? I said because they also work on their middot and they remove their ego, and your ego is growing as you learn. That's the problem. If your ego is growing every time you learn something new, that means you're learning for the wrong reason. So Rabotai Karim, first thing is to understand that the Maharsha says we got the Torah on the 51st day because it gave us an opportunity to fix our middot for 50 days. The Chachamim continue, and the Magen Avraham continues to say, not only is it an opportunity for us to fix our middot during for 50 days, but it also answers the very famous issue that we have during Pesach, which is that we always say, Dayenu Hashem, it would have been enough if you would have taken us out of Egypt and no more slavery. That would have already been enough good from you. You didn't owe us that kindness. You took us out from being slaves, no more slaves. That's already enough kindness. You didn't have to split the ocean for us. If you would have split the ocean for us, that would have been enough. You didn't have to bring us to Mount Sinai. If you brought us to Mount Sinai, that would have been enough. You didn't have to give us the Torah. If you give us the Torah, that would have been, that was enough. You didn't have to give us Eretz Yisrael. Meaning we kept saying, everything you did for us is really more than what we deserved. Katonti mikol hachasadim mikol ha'emet, Yaakov Avinu said, generations before. I'm already, all the chesed that you're giving me, all of the kindness that you're giving me, Hashem, is already too much for me. I don't deserve it. So we, as a nation, say on Pesach, everything you gave us is really more than what we deserve. But then the Chachamim ask, wait a minute, you're saying it would have been enough for him to bring us to Mount Sinai and not give us the Torah. Then why do we go there? If we're going to go to Mount Sinai, it's to receive the Torah. So why would you say it would have been enough to go to Mount Sinai and take us out of Egypt and split the ocean for us and do all these things that he did and not give us the Torah? Isn't that the whole point? To get the Torah? So the Magen Avraham asks this extraordinary questions and answers. This Maharsha chiddush answers it. Why does it answer it? He says, listen, part of the chesed that Hashem Yitbarach gave us is the ability to do tshuva. So during this whole transition of no longer, stopping from being slaves, going through the plagues, going through hardship during the plagues, before the plagues, after the plagues, having to make a choice between life and death, pretty much, when we had to put the korban of the not the egel, the goat which was the Egyptian god. Putting that, that was pretty much life or death. Why? Because that was the Egyptian god. But Hashem says, make it a korban, make it into a barbecue with this. These are difficult choices we had to make. And then some people didn't want to leave Egypt, so Hashem killed them. And then we got to this Sea of Reeds, and then you have, we don't know where to go. We didn't know we're supposed to go inside the ocean. People were scared. They thought we're going to die now. It was difficult. All of this extra level of hardship helped us fix our middot. Why? Because you only second guess yourself when you go through hardship. There's only two ways to fix yourself. One, learn an enormous amount of Torah and question yourself along the way. Does this apply to me? 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 How does this apply to me? It does apply to me. It always applies to me. How though? Once you learn Torah, the questions change. In the beginning, you ask yourself, how does this even apply to me? Then it applies to me, but how? Then I can't believe all of this applies to me. Then I have to fix all of the stuff that applies to me. Then it's Baruch HaShem that Hashem gave me the insight to realize all of this applies to me. During Tshuva, your questions change. Same question changes form. All of the difficulties were a way for us to ask ourselves the same question. It was fast-paced Tshuva. Fast-paced Tshuva. Hashem says, listen, you don't have the Torah, so you're not asking the right questions. So now, I'm going to fast-pace your Tshuva. You go through major hardship. We went through major hardship, and everybody did Tshuva, started fixing themselves, fixing their ego, fixing their bad character traits. Why? To get to Mount Sinai. Why Mount Sinai? So we get Torah. So the Chachamim say, even if we didn't get the Torah, the kindness from Hashem to allow us to fix ourselves, that was already enough. Why? Because we became good people. We became good people. That was already enough. We were not good in Egypt. We were just like the Egyptians. Elu of the Avodah Zarah, and Elu of the Avodah Zarah, the Malach Mitzrayim came to Hashem and says, why are you going to save these people and kill these people? Both of them are idol worshippers. They're idol worshippers and they're idol worshippers. Why are you going to fix them? He says, they're going to get the Torah. And to get the Torah, they're going to fix themselves. Meaning, the Chachamim explained to us, without using the Torah to fix ourselves, it's not Torah. You're not using Torah, it's something else. And that's why it surprises me sometimes to see this in real life, to see people that teach Torah, to see people that claim to know Torah, and they could spit out verses to you like it's a computer, but you see how they behave, you see what they say, you see what they do, and it's mamash, you see yourself, mamash, it's a prophecy of Erev Rav coming to life. No one says that Erev Rav is ignorant. Erev Rav knows a lot. Unfortunately, they're using it the wrong way. So, if the Torah is not going to help you fix your middot, it's not Torah. Because the Torah, nimshela lemayim. Nimshela lemayim meaning, the analogy to compare it to is that it's water. Why water? Because water goes to the lowest place, just like your ego is supposed to go to the lowest place until it's removed completely in order for you to become a vessel to receive the Torah. So Shavuot is the opportunity for us to actually do this, to put this to life.
We are meant to be a light unto the nations, not to follow their misguided practices. Remember, every Jew has to remember that he's a Jew and she's a Jew. We don't celebrate non-Jewish holidays, even if they seem harmless. It's a zilzul, disrespect to the Torah, and could lead to Chilul Hashem, desecration of God's name. Stick to our holy Torah and our own holidays. That's the path of a true Jew.